Hey guys, welcome back to Stitchinstacy's Crochet. Today we are going to be making this beautiful, beautiful African flower turtle. And the link to the designer, which is Miss Cindy Eggleston, and you will find her pattern to this. It's in the description box below the video, and you can also find it above the video or inside of the video. So this is a very, very beautiful pattern indeed. It's made using the African flower, and it's very simple to make. You can make it at any size you want and in any yarn you want. So this is going to be a fun project for that special little person in your life. So let's get busy and make this fun project. Okay, so here are the color choices that I've got to make my turtle with, and you can use anything you want. You can use cotton, you can use acrylic, you can use wool, use whatever you choose to use. And I did use a 4mm hook, and you will see through her pattern here that she did choose to use a smaller hook. You can choose to use whatever hook that you want to use. It's up to you. I think hers was a bit smaller, maybe around a 3. I'm not really sure. I'd have to go back and look that part of it up. But anyways, the cotton, I'm just using standard Lily Sugar and Cream, and I've got this big cone of like pastels, multicolor, and then like a flamingo color. I've got a peach, and then I have like a pale peach that goes with it, because I'm going to make this for my granddaughter. Then I've got just a black that's just going to be for the simple eyes of it. So you will also, for just the eyes, and then assembling the head and the feet, you will need to have yourself a needle to get all of those pieces attached. So just grab everything that you need and we will get started. Okay, so now to get started with the 2 motifs of this turtle, since I have already made a tutorial using the African flower motif, all you have to do is go up here at the top of the video and go to the search bar and type in African, and then that should pop that video up for you, or you can follow the link that I've provided in the video. So basically, since I have already done a video for that, all you need to do is follow that video and make 2 identical motifs by that. You want to make the bottom first, which I have made in a solid color, and you can do it however you like, and then make your top, because you do not want to finish off your top. And that's how that I did this, and you can do it either way you want. This was just an easier way to take care of it. But now you see there's a slight difference in each one of my motifs. The only difference between this one and this one is on the top motif, once you have it completed in full, you want to do a complete round of double crochet. Okay? And then the only change with that round of double crochet you will need to do is in each corner that you come to, you will just need to do 1 double crochet in that corner instead of 2. Okay, so that's where I'm at now. That's why it's turned into a bowl, because you kind of, when you did 1 double crochet instead of 2 in the corners, you made it cup up, and it's sort of like a decrease. So basically, if I turn my shell this way, this is what the top of my turtle shell is going to look like. So that's where I'm at right now. So once you get your 2 motifs made and you're caught up to par here, and you've done this double crochet round, then what we're going to do is start joining the 2 motifs. Okay, so basically you want to make sure that you're joining the wrong side and wrong side together, and make sure you have your polyfill. I always forget to mention polyfill, but I figured if you know you're making an animal that needs to be filled, just remember to get your polyfill. Alright, so basically when you are joining, all you are going to do is you're going to just simply single crochet around, and you're going to join them that way. So make sure that you line them up, and you should have the same amount of stitches either way you look at it. So then you just want to line up and just start working a single crochet. and make sure that you go into each stitch. And you're just going to stuff the turtle as you go, okay? And if you want it to be a more sturdier, harder type stuff, then you'll want to add more stuffing. And also they make different types. Some of them are harder, some of them are looser, some are fluffier than others. That's totally up to you. I have a lot of different types, so I just grabbed one. So basically what you then want to do is you just want to keep going around, okay? And as you get closer and closer to closing this up, you just want to go ahead and stuff it. Okay, so as I get closer to the end, I will meet you back up and we will continue. Do not fasten this off though. Alright, as you see, I have gone pretty much all the way around. I have got most of my stuffing in, and if you need to wiggle it around a little bit until you get it completely stuffed as full as you want, you can do that. So, and then don't forget, once you close this up, you can maneuver the stuffing a little bit too. Okay, so now I'm just going to finish closing this with some single crochet. And if you feel like the tops where the holes are just too big, because I've worked with it, a couple different size hooks, I still managed to get a couple of the holes, but they're not that bad. You can probably line the inside of it if you choose, but it's not that big of a deal to me. It's not going to come out. Okay, so now you see that's through. But when you're making the African flower motif, that's just the way the motif is designed. So if you feel more comfortable about lining it, that's just an idea. Okay, so now what you want to do is you're going to make the little skirt around the turtle, around his waist. So what you want to do now is you're going to chain up 3. And then you want to double crochet right into that same single crochet, making sure you're going through both sides. Let me try to get all those loops. Okay, and now what you'll do is you will skip the next stitch here, and then you will slip stitch into the next one. Now repeat that. So chain 3, double crochet right into the same stitch, and skip the next stitch. And now you will slip stitch into that next one. And this is going to make your ruffle. Chain 3, double crochet back into the same stitch, skip the next stitch, and slip in the next one. And if you wanted to change the ruffle color, and if I like to change contrasting colors when I'm doing one like this, so normally I would have probably taken the multicolor and made the ruffle, but no big deal. So again, you're just going to repeat this all the way around, making the ruffle for the turtle's belly. Okay, so now I will meet you at the end of this row, and then we will work on making the legs. Okay, so you see I've gone all the way around, made that beautiful ruffle. Now all you're just going to do is join to the very beginning here, and then you will finish this off and weave in this end. Okay, and now what you want to do is get your color that you want to make your feet out of, and I'm going to use the 4th color, which is the lighter color, and I have already completed 3 of the feet off camera, so we are going to work the last one together. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to make a magic loop. Alright, and then what you want to do, we're going to chain up 1 and put in 6 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Go ahead and close your center ring there. And now you're just going to work in a continual round. So if you need to use a stitch marker, by all means go right ahead. So I'm going to now put 2 single crochet in each round. So I started off with 6 stitches, so I'm going to double that by increasing. So I'm just going to count to 12, putting 2 in each stitch. So 1, 2, well, let's get all the loops there. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so now you'll have 12 stitches. Now we're going to do one more row of increasing. So again, if you're using your stitch marker, make sure to mark your space. So now we're going to move up to 18 stitches for this next row. So put 2 in the next. So 1, 2, and 1 in the next. And you'll repeat that around. So that's 3. 2 in the next, so that's 4 and 5. And then a single one, 6, and work that around. So that's 7, 8, that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and the last one should be a single crochet by itself, so that will give you 18. Okay, so now you're done with increasing. Now you're just going to make 3 rows of single crochet. Okay, so now if you need your marker, that's fine, or you can use your tail, and I will use the tail here. So now all you're going to do is for rows 4, 5, and 6, all you want to do now is just single crochet around. Okay, so altogether I think it's 54 stitches total if you do yours like that. So basically you take 18 stitches and times it times 3 rows. So that's what you're going to end up getting. And so that's how many stitches you'll get, which will end up being, I believe it's 54 stitches. Okay, so I will meet you back for row 7. Okay, so I've gone around, and now what you're going to do is flip your piece inside out, because we are going to start decreasing and we're going to start adding our stuffing. So now for round 7, we're going to decrease back down from 18 to 12 stitches. Okay, so now what you want to do is you're going to decrease, single crochet decrease in the first 2 stitches. Okay, and then single in the next. So that's 2. Single crochet decrease in the next 2. That's 3. And now single crochet in the next. You'll work that around. So that's 4. Just work that all the way around. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and now 12. Okay, so now you've had your first row of decrease. Now you're going to, for rows 8 and 9, you're just going to single crochet around, so you have 12 rows. If you don't want to use a stitch marker, and the way that I do when I'm making amigurumi smaller parts, it's easier to do with the legs and the head and the arms when you're making in smaller rounds. For me, if I don't want to use a marker, I'll do multiplication instead. So you need to do 2 rounds of single crochet. Instead of the marker, I'll say I have 12 stitches, so if I need to do 2 complete rounds, all I need to do is count to 24, and then I know I'm back at my stitch. So I'll single crochet 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just that simple. And now you're going to start putting your stuffing in your foot here, because it's going to get smaller as we have more decreasing to go here. Okay, so now for round 10 you're going to do decreasing from 12 down to 8. Okay, so let's work a single crochet decrease over the first 2, and then you'll single crochet in the next. So there's 1 and single crochet, 2. Now your decrease. So that's 3, and then your single crochet, which is 4. And work that around. There's 5, 6, 7, and 8. You'll end on a single. Okay, so you see it's much tighter. So now you're just going to try and get that stuffed up in there. And now what you're going to do is go for round 11 now. You want to just work a single crochet around in each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now if you need to try and get a little bit more in there, you can try that. I usually take a hook and try to push it down if I can't get my fingers in there. I like to try to keep all the body parts as evenly stuffed as possible. Okay, so now what you want to do is you're going to close this up. You're going to flatten the top part with your fingers, and then you're just going to go from one end to the other, and you're going to work 3 single crochet across the top. So 1, and it's a little difficult because it's tight. 2, and 3. And make sure you leave a tail because you do have to sew these on. And you can move that stuffing around. So just make sure you leave yourself a tail. Then pull that through. Okay? And then you'll have all 4 of your legs, and we will start the head. Alright, so to start the head, I'm going to use the same yarn as I did for the feet. So you want to start with a magic circle. And let's chain 1 here, and then we'll work 6 single crochet just like we did for the legs. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Close your circle up, And now you're going to just pretty much work it very similar for this next row. It's pretty much the same actually. So you want to do 2 single crochet into each stitch around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, next row is the same as the third row was on the foot as well. You want to work 18 stitches total. So you want to start with 2 in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1 in the next, okay? So here's 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15, 16, 17, and then you should end on a 1 by itself, which will give you 18. Now we're going to increase 1 extra row on the head as opposed to what we did on the feet. Okay, but first we are actually going to do 2 rounds of single crochet. Okay, so if you'd rather count or just use your marker, you can do like I said, so you're going to do 2 rows of 18 stitches, which is actually going to give you a total of 36. So I'm just going to count to 36. Okay, so do your 2 rows and I will join you back up. Alright, so with rows 4 and 5 done of just simple single crochet, we're going to move to row 6 and we're going to do our last row of increase. So what we're going to do is 2 in the next and then a single in each of the next 2. Okay, so you want to get 24 stitches in this row. So you'll do 2 here and then 1 and then 1 and then you'll repeat that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your increase, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, 21, 22, and then the last 2 will be singles. Okay, so now you want to go ahead and flip your piece inside out. And now for round 7, you just want to single crochet around. So you'll have 24 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. And now for row 8, you will start your decreasing. We'll take it from 24 count stitches back down to 18. Okay, so what you want to do is you're going to decrease your first 2, and then you'll single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Okay, so decrease, so that's 1 stitch, and then single in the next 2. So there's 2 and 3. Now repeat that around. So here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And there's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and start stuffing now, you can. Now rows 9 and 10, you are just going to single crochet around. So again, you have 18 stitches. To do 2 rows, you will need to simply single crochet a total around, without using a stitch marker, 36 stitches. Okay, so I'll do that off camera and I'll meet you back up. Okay, so I've completed rows 9 and 10. I have also started stuffing it. Now round 11, you're going to decrease again back down to 12 stitches. So we will decrease the first 2, and then you will single crochet in the next single crochet. So it'll be a decrease and then a single crochet. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and last one should be a single. That's your 12th. Okay, now if you're ready to keep stuffing, go right ahead. I kind of want the head to be really stiff. I can add more. Alright, so now rounds 12 and 14. 12, 13, and 14 are just single crochet rounds. So at 12 stitches, you'll need to do 3 rows. That will give you 36 stitches a round. So go ahead and work your 3 rows or your 36 stitches, and I will meet you back up. Okay, so the last part of the head, you want to make sure at this point you have it stuffed as much as you want, because now we're just going to close it up just like we did the legs. You want to pinch it, and this time you're going to make 5 single crochet across the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now remember to keep yourself a tail on the end of that before you finish it off. Okay, and now all you want to do is make your eyes. You can do those any way you want. She does a French knot. I don't do embroidery very well, as I've stated many times. You can use bigger eyes. If you want to use the safety eyes, that's also up to you, but I'm just going to simply use my black thread. And so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into where I want the first eye, take my yarn, make sure to pull the tail all the way to the very end. Then I will just go right back through and just make it a couple times thick. Just like that. Maybe once more. That should do it. Okay, and now you'll just go right back into that last stitch you had and go over to where you want the other eye. Do the same thing. And that way you don't have to cut your yarn. It just kind of works itself over. Okay, now I'm just going to go back here. And eyes are pretty simple when you do them like this. You don't have to worry about shaping them. If you do them with thick enough yarn, they pretty much shape themselves. I absolutely do not like trying to make face shapes. I'm terrible at it. Okay, so once you do that and you get your eyes set, then all you want to do is go underneath, and you want to hide your yarn because that will stay. So lose it underneath, and then you'll clip it off and it'll kind of disappear on you. Alright, so now I have assembled 3 of the legs already so that you don't have to wait and watch me do that painfully. So now I'm just going to do 1, and you can assemble those however is easiest for you. I know some people have their own ways of attaching parts when it comes to these. So you just need to line it up best you can, and then you just stitch them on. So I kind of came way back, that way they didn't dangle around and they had a little bit more sturdiness to them. And I just made about 4 passes before I knotted it. Just checking to make sure. And they may not be perfectly even, but they will work. And depending on how tightly I get them the first time, depends on if I go back and tighten them up. Yeah, that looks alright. And I wanted these further apart up here at the top because I have to have the head to go through there, between the feet at the front. Now you just want to make sure to knot this off and weave it in. Fasten that off. And now you're going to take your head here and place it between the 2 legs at the front, which this is going to be the front. Okay? And just, we will work that the same way. I am just going to attach it further back here. That way the head doesn't bobble around. And I'm just going in each loop of the neck, which is the 5 stitches that we closed it up with. We'll see how that works. See if that keeps it steady. Looks like it does pretty good. No? Okay, so we'll go, and I'll turn it to the front and maybe make 1 stitch to attach it to the front. And you can align it and work it any way that you can work it. Actually, he's kind of cute with a little bobblehead, which I'm not so much worried about the bobblehead really. It doesn't matter either way. Okay, so that looks better. So you want to hide your yarn. Once you do that, you finish it off. And you have the most adorablest turtle in the world. Look at that. That not just the cutest little thing. He's so sweet. Or she is, being she's a little girl turtle. And that is all there is to making this turtle. And again, there's a couple links for Miss Cindy's pattern here. She has it listed on her Ravelry. And she also has it on her website that, again, I have listed at the bottom of the page for you, which is Crochet for Children, I do believe. Yep, Crochet for Children. And you can go to either link and get it, her Ravelry or Crochet for Children. So make sure to go and show her some love for this pattern that she took and made into a beautiful, beautiful, lovely little children's toy. Okay? And until next time, guys, I hope you have a beautiful, happy hooking day. See you next video.